rappers out there in the big city, all you street people with an ear for the action, I've been asked to relay a request from the Gramercy Riffs. It's a special for the Warriors. That's that real live bunch from Coney. And I do mean the Warriors. Here's a hit with them in mind.
She's crazy like a fool. Why my daddy cool?
Just hang loose, blood. She's gonna catch up on the rebound on the med side.
What it is, Big Mama? My mama raised no dummies. I duck a rap.
Cut me some slack, Jack.
Say cutting
Chump don't wanna help, Chump don't get the help.
Say can't hang, say 7-Up.
Jive ass dude don't got no brains anyhow.
Sexy, easy as 1, 2, 3.
Just let your soul glow. Just let it shine through. Just let your soul glow, baby. Feeling oh so silky smooth. Just let it shine through. Just let your soul glow.
Soul glow.
Am I the meanest?
Sure enough.
Am I the prettiest?
Sure enough.
Am I the baddest mofo low down around this town?
Sure enough.
Well, who am I?
Sure enough.
Who am I?
Sure enough.
I can't hear you.
That boy is good.
Good and terrible.
Guys, what's happening? It's been a while. I know I've been gone for a little bit, but things come up, life happens, and unfortunately, had to take a little break. But here we are, right? I'm not going to get into why I was gone. I will at a different time, but I can't do that today because today I do have a guest who's going to be joining us, and we have a lot to talk about. Obviously, since I haven't been here, things have happened, shows have come and gone, movies have come and gone. So we're going to get into all that. We're going to talk about the state of nerdom in Hollywood right now and how it's just it's not big business anymore, man. It's not the cash cow that it once was. So we got to talk about that. And thankfully, today I don't have to do that by myself because I have been trying to make this happen with this young lady for a very long time, and things have happened that prevented that, but here we are. She's here. We could finally get into it, and we're gonna learn a little bit about her today because she's pretty fascinating and has a lot going on. So yeah, guys, give it up for Dani from Comics and Everything. And Dani, we're here.
Finally,
here. It's happening.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Finally. Yeah, no one's moving. No one's sick.
Wait, let me give you a clap.
Oh.
There we go.
Thank you. See, I have children in the basement that I let out when I have guests on. I just kind of open this hatch and they go, yay! And then I close it and have to tell them to shut up and go back in their hole. Yeah. But yeah, finally.
So how
this worked out. I'm great. I'm wonderful. Thank you so much. How are you?
I'm good-ish. Ever since I moved to Colorado, I've been getting used to the climate and the weather here, and it's been like going nuts on my immune system. Like some days, like I never get sick, and since I've been here, I've been like sick like several times. So, but no, it's weird. So it's a different atmosphere for me because I'm from LA, California. So being in Colorado is a little different. But the air is a lot thinner up here. So getting used to that too. But no, other than that, man, things are good. Even though I've been a little quiet lately, I've been, keeping up with things. So, but enough about me because my audience already knows who I am. We got to get into you.
Okay.
Tell her about yourself.
Well, my name is Dani. I have a channel called Comics and it used to be called Comics and Cosmetics because I would break down comic book characters while doing my makeup at the same time, kind of like Bailey Sarian with Murder Mystery Makeup Monday. But it kept growing and expanding. I do special effects professionally, so I would do cosplay and stuff as well. I'm also a writer, science fiction writer, urban fantasy writer. So I would kind of give commentary and stuff. And I started reviewing and critiquing things, and it just kept growing. And calling it comics and cosmetics felt kind of limiting or reductive. So a couple of years ago, because I'm really the only person there. I run the whole thing. It felt, just limiting, and I rebranded to Comics and so when I do a breakdown, it's comics and cosmetics. When I do a live stream, it's just literally comics and everything, because we're talking about everything that's going on in nerdy pop culture. But I do go live Wednesday through Friday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. I do a breakdown once or twice a month, depending on what kind of time I have. And I am now a comic creator as well.
Very cool. And of course, you're going to tell us about this comic, right?
Oh, yes. Try and stop me, man. Like, it's all I talk about. Like, I know I've hounded you personally at least 6 dozen different times about it, because
Hey,
I'm so proud of it.
Though.
Thank you. Don't knock the hustle, man. That's,
you got to do
thou
it.
shalt not. It is adapted from. I actually have it right here. It's adapted from a book I published about exactly 20 years ago. When I had just had my third child, when I was I was 24 when I wrote it. And it's the first book 1 of Veiled Legacy. That's the name of the series, Veiled Legacy. And book 1 is called Midwest Gothic. It's about a rural Midwestern family's act of kindness goes horribly wrong and turns into a supernatural home invasion, leaving Emma Hogan to survive the night alone, while her twin brother Jimmy Hogan has to race against the clock to save his family from forces unknown before they are lost forever. And that's just book 1. Book 1 is basically just breakneck speed, constant action, suspense. Like you just, this poor family, it's the worst night of their lives. But the only spoiler I can give is the main character, Emma, loses her right leg. And the premise of the rest of the series is that her brother, Jimmy, is an engineer, and he engineers her these amazing weaponized prosthetic legs that have stake launchers, iron spikes, all this other cool like gadgets and gizmos and stuff. And they're vampire hunters. She goes out killing vampires to try and stop it from ever happening to anyone else ever again. And it's basically my life's work at this point.
Okay. I mean, no, that's really cool. In fact, I think it's cool because on several levels. I think number one, I think especially for people in our space and people in our corner of YouTube and X, it's cool when we're not just the ones critiquing, but we're the ones creating, right? Because that's the thing, we get accused of kind of talking out of our ass, but yet we're not the ones putting our ass on the line as far as creating stuff. So it's always cool when we kind of do our own thing and get it published, like Yellow Flash and some of the other guys who are public Nerdrotic, they publish books, they didn't just, talk about it, they did it. And a lot of other people that we know, obviously, people in the Rippaverse and everything. So no, I think that's very cool.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm working very hard on it. And, you bring up Rippaverse, and I'm so glad you did, because my editor is Caro Brown, who is, writer and assistant editor in chief. And we do have big plans to print through Rip Ascend. But of course, we have to get it made first. So that has to be done through crowdfunding, which isn't just crowdfunding. It is a pre-order. So you get that if you back the campaign, you get that before anyone else, before it goes through Rip Ascend or anything, whatever printing. If we somehow crazy reason we don't go through Rip Ascend, whoever backs the campaign gets it before anyone else. And you get super sweet rewards and perks as well. You get your name in the back of the book, you get autographed copies. There's a lot of amazing things that come with it too. And we're really proud of it. My artist is a Rippaverse artist as well, Evan Scale. He is the artist for Dirty Deeds and several other books in the Rippaverse. So I'm extremely, extremely proud of what we have worked on together. And I really cannot wait to share this with everybody.
Well, how soon do they have to wait? Or how long do they have to wait, I should say?
Well, the sooner people can back the campaign and
the
help
campaign's
us
already
pay
up, right?
Evan. Yeah, it's up. It's ready to go. We're at Fund
I
My
will drop a
Comic.
link in the description later. So
Thank you
but
very
yeah,
much.
I think that's really cool. And I definitely wish you all the best. I'll definitely be picking up a copy for myself because I always support my people. But yeah, let's dive into things because it's been a lot of things that have happened over the past week and a lot of crazy stuff to talk about. But the first thing we have to talk about, just because it's literally dominating the news right now, and that's the Michael Jackson movie, Michael, the biopic that everybody is either hating or loving right now, and it seems like most people are loving, including me. I absolutely loved it. But
I loved it.
Yeah, tell me what you thought about it, and then I'll talk about what I thought about it.
I thought it was an absolute triumph. I thought it was fantastic. I really loved how. Let me just preface by this. I know that we all know that Joe Jackson was an abusive father. That's not been a secret. We all know that the Jacksons had a rough childhood, but this really pushed out there just how seriously they did not have a childhood at all. And not just that, it really very pointedly, I mean, with a very, very subtle, like it was so subtle, you could tell that they very purposely, and I'm going to apologize, there are storm sirens going off, and my daughter's dog is going absolutely crazy in the
it's all good. I mean, you could barely hear them.
Okay, I'm sorry. So there's this moment early in the film in Michael's childhood, and it's done very subtle like, but it was important. Joe calls Michael Big Nose. He's like, "Good on here, Big Nose."
Yeah.
That was so important. It really, really points out not just how that seriously affected Michael's, self-image for himself, like how that affected the rest of his life with all the cosmetic surgery. But I mean, those are your parents. If your parents cannot accept you for who you are and love you unconditionally, how are you supposed to accept it and love yourself for who you are? Like that it was just one line that was meant to seem like it was throwaway, but it was, you could have wrote a novel.
Well, no, I mean, it wasn't throwaway because, I mean, Michael Jackson, the whole thing of him changing his appearance, had so much to do with that, right? Of how, how he saw himself. And, he always thought his nose was too big and his face wasn't, proportional and all these other things. So, yeah, it obviously started. I mean, and what I liked about the movie too was the fact that they did kind of portray or show how much of a monster Joe Jackson was.
Yes.
Right? Like, and by the way, I'm sure he was way worse than what we saw in that movie.
Yes.
Like 1,000 times worse. Like as bad as he was in the movie, guarantee you in real life, this guy was terrible. And there were just so many things about this movie, man, that I love because I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan. And I've heard people, and I talked about this earlier. People have mentioned that, they left out all these things, right? And I'm not even talking about the controversial stuff, but I mean just a lot of regular things about his life. And I'm like, how do you take 5 decades of dominance and conduce it, to 2 hours, a 2-hour movie? There's no way to do that. So they had to leave some things out because even as a fan, there were things I'm like, oh man, I wish they would have put that in, or I wish they would have put this in. Like I mentioned earlier, you know, I wish they would have like maybe talked about some of the stuff like with the Wiz, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Yeah.
like Michael Jackson spanned a long time, you know. But
Yeah.
I understand why they had to pick and choose, you know, what they picked and, you know, what they chose. And I loved it. I loved everything about this movie. Like, was it a perfect movie? No, right? I mean, you know, the script could have been a little stronger, I guess. But you know what's funny? At the end of the day, none of that matters.
No.
None of that matters. Like, what matters is it was enjoyed. I enjoyed this movie.
You could tell there was a lot of love and passion that went into it. That always shines through with a film. If the cast and crew, the writers, the directors, everyone behind the camera and in front of the camera is loving what they're doing, that will always come through the screen every single time. It will be felt. And I felt that with this. Every single scene was saturated with how much the people who made this film loved what they were doing. It was absolutely a labor of love. And it took me back to my childhood. It wasn't just a movie for Michael, about Michael, for his family. It was a movie for us to remind us the impact that Michael had on our lives and to remember who he was when he was coming up and when we were coming up. I firmly believe that, because man, it was really hard not to do the Beat It choreography. I get like it was all the little TikToks we've seen of those people like getting up and dancing in the theater. Like, yes, that's annoying. Don't do that, please. Everyone has paid money to see the film. Let everyone enjoy the film. We're so glad you're having a wonderful time. That's wonderful, but you got to be considerate. But I get it. It's hard. It's so hard. The Thriller dance, we all know the Thriller choreo, at least everyone in our generation, Dante. Like, everybody knows the Thriller choreography.
Oh, come on, of course. I mean,
Thriller,
I know all of them, okay? I know Billie Jean, Beat It. I know all of the dances.
Oh, yes.
Remember the Time? Oh, my God, I know all of them.
Oh, my gosh. It really took me back to how I felt when, like, Thriller was the first album I ever owned on my own. Like, I got that for Christmas as a child, as a small child.
Wait, was it the record or cassette?
I got both.
Okay.
I got both. And then I got the Michael Jackson 11-inch Barbie doll, the Thriller, in the the red jacket and pants with the rhinestone.
By the way,
glove.
I had the red jacket and the glove and the socks. And
I had it on a Barbie.
The Jerry curl. I had it all.
Of course you did. And by the way, your intro, every time your intro plays, I'm belting Soul Glow, like every single time.
Oh my God.
Just let your soul go. Anyway, I had the Thriller Barbie, everything. I had the mirror finish. You remember the mirror pictures? I had the mirror finish picture of the Thriller album cover. I was the world's biggest Michael Jackson fan when I was a kid. And I just remembering that while watching the movie. And not just that, when he was a child himself performing in the Jackson 5.
Oh my God, that kid did so well. The actor who played young Michael. Yeah.
You forget that it's an actor.
Yeah.
Even when it was, I always want to call him Jermaine, his nephew that played him.
Jafar Jackson.
Jafar. Okay. Because they always got to go with the J names.
I know. Right?
It's so confusing. But even then, you forget it's Jafar. It's not Michael. He did so well. They all did so amazing.
He completely disappeared into that role now. Like, there were times where I'm like, I thought I was literally looking at Michael Jackson.
Mm-hmm. Even his own family said they would just get lost in it and forget that it was Jafar. But when he was a child, when they were showing those scenes performing with the Jackson 5, I remember thinking about the time my mom telling me how she had such a crush on little Michael Jackson when she was, because they're the same age. At least she thought she thought she was, because apparently they changed his age. But she had a crush on him, and I remember thinking, okay, there's my mother's Michael Jackson, there's my Michael Jackson. You know, it showed everyone these different stages of him. It gave at least 3 generations this nostalgia, this remembrance of who he really is. And of course, as soon as everyone's in this moment, in this glow of love for the one and only King of Pop, the person, and they said it in the film, Miles Teller's character says, I believe there will be no one else like you ever again, before or after, and there will not be. That is a fact right there.
You're completely right.
The man was a natural born performer. This is what he was put on earth for.
And in a way though, it was kind of like his gift and his curse, you know?
Yes, absolutely. All the allegations come back out. Here they come.
Oh yeah, I in fact, I'm glad you brought that up, because we're going to jump straight into that. So obviously, guys, not everybody loved this movie the way that we did. There are people who are pissed that it did as well as it's done. And by the way, 214 million over the weekend.
Yeah,
over the weekend. That might be one of the best opening weekends we're probably going to get this year.
For a biopic. Biopic.
Videos of people dancing, like she said, in the theater, people singing along. Everybody's happy watching it, except for the critics. You can't hate these people enough.
No.
You know what's weird for me? It's weird that I say that. It's weird that I say it, of all people, because I am literally a member of the Hollywood Critic Association, right? I'm a real critic, y'all. I mean, I know I don't bring that up a lot, but because I'm kind of ashamed of it in a weird way. But I am a critic. But the people in that space, the people who do this for a living, there was a disconnect between the average film goer and movie critics. Like, and it's unfortunate. And by the way, it's for the most part, it's always kind of been that way. Critics always kind of have this weird stick up their ass. They always, if it's not an art house film, right? They have to fight against it, right? They can't like the popular movie. So, and that was kind of my problem being a critic. Not really. Actually, I just spoke. I told it how it was. I mean, that's just how I am. If I like something, I like it. If I don't, I don't. But here's the thing: the way I measure a movie, right? I can get highfalutin with all the cinematography and the editing and the sound design and blah blah fucking blah. I care more about entertainment than any of those things. You can give me a movie with the shittiest cinematography. If it's entertaining, I'm all in. I will sit there and watch Half Baked 5 times a week, right? That movie, look, I love Half Baked because it's entertaining, right? Because it's funny. I'll take that over any art house film, over any Oscar-nominated movie, because it's about entertainment, man. It should be first and foremost. But for a critic, especially nowadays, because it's not just about judging the movie, it's about judging the people involved in the movie. So that's my very long-winded way of just saying that the critics suck ass. But I'm going to show some of the responses that they gave.
Ugh. That one guy was like, "Listen, just because you guys say your audience score is higher, it's not going to automatically make us change our mind." Like, we know.
Yeah, we know, and we don't care.
Yeah.
So here's IGN, guys, and if you follow me on X, you know how I feel about IGN. They are literally the worst review site probably on the internet. There was a time where I really liked IGN when they only did video games and they were honest about it. This is before all the woke shit and all the virtual signaling and all that. IGN used to be a solid outlet, man. I would see them at Comic-Con sometimes and hang out with some of the people there. IGN used to be actually a cool place. But no, now they have dug deep into the virtual signaling. And they gave it a 3, saying that it was boring, saying that they didn't get into the controversy. And that's the thing. A lot of these critics wanted to get into like the dirty shit, right? By the way, which was basically, I'm not going to get into that, but into the controversy of the later '90s with Michael Jackson. Most of those have been refuted.
Yeah,
pretty much all of them have been refuted.
Mm-hmm.
This was about extortion. It wasn't about children being molested, right? And here's the thing: if it was, I'd be the first to say fuck that guy.
Yeah.
But it's not, right? Michael Jackson was a target. He had a lot of money, and there were parents who saw an opening, and they took it, right? And critics are mad that they didn't touch on that. For those of y'all who haven't seen it, the movie ends just as the Bad album is about to take off. So that it ends right there with the Bad album. But I don't know. I'm going on. What do you think, Dani?
I think that it's the same story every single time. Every single time with these critics. This is the same outlet that said She-Hulk had a score of 8.
Guys, they gave She-Hulk a fucking 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Okay. They gave the Penguin a 5. A 5. And they gave She-Hulk a fucking 8. So I'm telling you, IGN is awful. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No. Please. No, if you need to pop off, please. I got dogs barking. So it's fine. No,
I don't hate them enough. But I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. And that's the truth. You don't hate them enough. They think they are better than all of us. It's that same they're just above all of us little people. They know what's better for us from up there in their ivory tower. They know what's best for us down here in the muck while we're all still buying our own groceries and they're not. So, of course, they know what's best for us. They've got their marching orders. Someone at some studio doesn't like the fact that this is making money. That's what it is.
Absolutely. Like there is a hit job. There's a hit job going on right now. It was funny. Here's another one from IGN, and this is the one that kind of makes me laugh. The new Michael Jackson movie does the impossible. It makes the King of Pop boring.
What?
I don't know one person who was bored in that theater. Everybody in my theater was dancing, singing. Who was bored? Were you bored?
No.
Right?
Not for 1 second. Not for what, like I said, I had to struggle to keep myself seated from doing the choreography to Beat It and Thriller. I had to keep myself from doing full-on girl squeal when Bubbles came on screen. As soon as that delivery truck pulled up and that chimp came out, I went, "It's Bubbles!" And I was just like holding myself, like, Bubbles.
And you know what? I enjoyed Bubbles a lot more than Crypto and Superman. So
oh God.
I'm sorry. I just have to throw that out.
There is no one more disappointed in James Gunn and the DCU.
We're going to get into that. We're going to get into James Gunn. For sure. We have to.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Yeah, the critics, and as bad as IGN was, Variety was 1,000 times worse. So Variety,
I believe it.
Well, Variety not only shades the movie, but again, they try to throw in. All of a sudden there's a new victim that's come out of the woodwork to talk about what happened with him and Michael Jackson. Right? They published this on Thursday. Right, the day the movie comes out. All of a sudden there's a new victim. This is all horseshit, guys. This is
like he passed away in 2009, right?
Yeah. So I guess his ghost came out, and
his ghost has come out and decided to start tickling buttholes or something from beyond the grave. Like
exactly. So
that's impressive. I'm just trying really hard not to be impressed.
It doesn't take much to work for these people. I mean, if I really sold my ass, I could probably write for Variety, and I can make up a bunch of shit and get paid for it. Because here's the thing: when you write for Variety or IGN, you don't need credibility. You don't need credibility. You just need to write politics.
Yeah,
But anyway.
that's the truth. That is the absolute truth. And that's not even it, Dante. It's not even, do you have the right politics? It's, are you willing to be a prostitute? Are you willing to sell your soul? Just what is your price? That's all it is. Are you willing to sell your character, your integrity for a certain dollar amount? All you have to do is just say, yes, sir, to whatever they want you to say. That's all it is. That's it.
Well, what I do love is, like, they can't stop this train. They can't, man. This movie's making too much money, and it got so much good word of mouth. I guarantee you, this next weekend, same thing. Same thing. It's going to blow away the box office again.
Hopefully.
There's no stopping it. This is a critic-proof movie, and guys, if you even knew how rare or how incredible that is, where nothing could touch you from making money. And what's funny is, you know, say what you want about Minecraft, it was the same thing. It was critic proof, right? Because the critics destroyed that movie. But look how much money it made.
I tell you what, one more kid takes a chicken into a theater and I might have words. I'm just saying, stop taking live animals into theaters.
You know what's funny? I got really lucky when I saw it, because, like, there was one family, and I don't think they knew much about the Minecraft game, because they didn't seem to be reactive to a whole lot. So I was kind of grateful I didn't get the rowdy theater with the kids and the chickens and all that crazy shit.
Oh, that's good. Lucky you. Well, they shut down our theater, so I don't get to see movies here in town anymore. We have to go for a drive.
Look, I'm just going to say it, man. I liked the Minecraft movie. I did. It was goofy and dumb as shit, and I was high as fuck. But I really enjoyed that movie. Probably because I was high. Like, I really thought.
Yeah, there you go.
But I mean, it was fun. It was fun. I mean, it was what it was.
I mean, it was good for what it was. They definitely
fine.
Absolutely. They definitely knew their audience on that entirely.
Yeah, I mean, it was cool. I mean, I wouldn't watch it again.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
No.
It was fun the first time. So anyway, I'm gonna go to the chat because I need to say hi to you guys, man. I mean, we just jumped right in, and normally I take a minute to say what's up. So let's do that, man. All right.
That's my friend Rose, Scarif Scuttlebutt podcast.
Oh, okay. I'm like, Jesus Christ. That's not Jessica. I know. I changed the name, man. I changed the name. And look, I know Dani. Okay, I was thinking of anyway. You guys are gonna give me shit about that. Emily, hello, hail. Thank you for joining us. Thank you so much. And we got a membership from
Yay
Blitzen 6622. Gifted 5. Thank you so much, my friend. That is very cool of you.
Very nice.
Very cool. I don't deserve your generosity, but I'll take it. I'll never say no to that. So the next topic is funny, yeah, because me and this woman have a very bizarre, I won't even say relationship, but it's just interaction with each other. I got to talk about Grace Randolph for a minute, but not. And don't worry, This isn't
no,
to shade.
There's a funny story.
Yeah, this isn't to shade Grace. This is actually she actually made a good point for once. So,
well, I see Carl Peachy. Carl and Carl's one of my subscribers, and another one who goes by the name of Willie the Monkey King, especially when I have my glasses on. They call me Bizarro Grace Randolph.
Bizarro Grace. That is
that's
pretty hilarious.
And I've tried to get them to say, well, shouldn't she actually be Bizarro Dani? And they're like, nope. You're Bizarro Grace Randolph.
I think when you talk about Grace Randolph, man, it's always bizarre, right? Like she's the bizarre one.
The name has stuck, I guess.
But look, here's the thing, guys. I have called Grace Randolph the human equivalent of a broken clock, because every now and then she will say something that is true, to everybody's surprise. And Grace, of all people, is calling out the Shields, which I'm kind of surprised, and here's the thing: say what you want to about Grace, she's wacky as fuck, and she is crazy as a bag of hammers. But
she's kind of calling them out in a sense, like she is, but she's seems to be completely unaware that she is one herself.
Okay, so I used to think that, right? I used to think Grace was a shield. I don't think she's a shield. I think she's a true believer, to be honest with you.
Wow.
I think she's batshit crazy, but it's earnest. Like, I think it's earnest. And
oh gosh.
I used to call her shield, but then I'm like, but I've heard her say too many things where I'm like, okay, I think she's just crazy.
She just, I want to gift her, like, I need her P.O. box or something, because I really want to, like, send her a hairbrush or something. Like, I know I shouldn't say things like that, but I've been a cosmetologist for like 20 years. I owned a salon when I first started doing YouTube, and every time I see her, I'm just like, this is painful.
You know what though? I think that weird look is on purpose. I think it's like this purpose messy look. You know what she looks like? She looks like a girl who like went out the night before and partied.
Yes.
And did the long walk home in the morning. Like she kind of had, like, that's her look. That's her gimmick.
Like you can smell the Jaeger bomb coming through her pores kind of thing.
Like she smells like Fireball and shame. You know what I mean? Like like that's the look she's going for, I think. And,
oh my gosh. It's awful. Okay. It just I want to help.
But Grace, to her credit, she said, and this is coming from Geeks and Gamers, that influencers are paid to like everything, but viewers aren't letting her off the hook. That's from Geeks and Gamers. Influencers are always positive. It's their job to like everything that they're paid to like, and she's not wrong. Right? Say what you want to about her. She's, like I said, crazy as hell, but it's true. And we had this discussion on Film Thread earlier about influencers versus critics. This is weird because, again, to some degree, I'm an influencer, right? I'm a YouTuber.
Mm-hmm.
I have an audience. And so does Dani. So does a lot of other people that we know. We could be called influencers. So we're in this circle. The difference is, though, we're not shields. Like, we'll call shit out as it is. And so we, people in our circle, will never get the invites to these places. We'll never get the invites. We'll never get the gift bags. And I believe that's what Grace is trying to call out.
Hopefully that's what she's trying to call out, because it's the truth. If one of the worst offenders, I will say, is, of course, Matt Ramos. That guy drives me absolutely insane. He has the same reaction to every single trailer, even the ones he's already seen that have leaked. And, his stuff doesn't get taken down. He's allowed to continue. Why? Because they've paid him for that reaction. And
there's too many shows that we could name off by name. I mean, at this point,
absolutely. Well, this is something we have talked about on my channel quite a bit over the last couple of years, like leaks, set leaks and stuff. Listen, guys, for me, I use that as kind of a metric. Like, the more set and location leaks that you see, and then the movie comes out, the movie's absolute dog shit.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have another movie where there are no leaks whatsoever, and the movie's amazing. What does that tell you? It tells you that they know they have a pile of dog shit on their hands. And so they figure, well, let's try to manufacture some hype for it. And so they pay people to leak stuff out there and say, oh my God, I'm hearing amazing things. I'm hearing these amazing things. Do you see? I've got these leaks. I've got this source, and I've got these leaks. Look at this. It's amazing. They manufacture it and they push it out there. They push it out there.
Yeah.
This has been going on forever. They're just starting to be even more upfront about it. They've just stopped hiding it. And now you have Dingbat Grace coming out and just flat out saying it, saying, well, you know.
I mean, and look, I don't know what Grace's access is like. Like, I don't know how many things she gets invited to. Because to be honest with you, I don't see her at a lot of premieres or a lot of.
Well, she gets invited to be in movies, so.
Well, I guess that's true. But you know what's funny? Because you mentioned leaks. Like, the funny thing about the leaks thing is most people who talk about leaks don't really have a leak, right? Like, they don't really have an insider. Like, I have a friend who works for the MCU, and I look, I know a lot of shit, man. And what's funny is, though, you guys never hear me talk about leaks. You never hear me talk about it because you know what? I know people who have leaked it, and I don't want to get them in trouble. So if someone's really leaking something, you don't talk about it. You know what I mean? If it's a friend, I mean, you don't talk about it because you get them in trouble.
Exactly.
So I just sit on the information because, like, hey, it's cool to know, but I'm not going to sit there and put them out there just for the clicks. You know what I mean?
I've talked about certain things in certain ways, like very, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, kind of glazing over, like in a very macro way, so to speak. But then these, like the TikTok audience especially, has grown so used to leakers and scoopers. They're like, well, who's your source? I'm sorry, I can't reveal something like that. Why would I throw that source under the bus? I'm not going to have that source anymore if I do that. Even if they get to keep their position, they're not going to trust me anymore.
No, and I've seen this happen, man. This happened in a very big way with John Campea. And I remember this because the guy who we screwed over, we follow each other on Facebook when the few times I'm ever on Facebook, but he threw Campea's name out there and he was just slamming him, man. And he was just like, I will never ever trust a YouTuber. I'll never tell them anything. I'll never talk to them about anything. And he considered Campea a friend, and that's why he told him this stuff. And that kind of ended their friendship. So,
well, you really have to make a decision with yourself when someone does trust you on that level.
Yeah.
And they do tell you things like that. You have to make a decision. Do you want to put your career first, or do you want to put your soul first? And I just can't do that.
I mean, look, man, I everybody wants to be first. Okay, when it comes to the YouTube thing, everybody wants the first scoop. Everybody wants the first viewing. That's why you have these shields out there, selling their ass for access. And as someone who does YouTube, I understand the temptation, right? I get the temptation. My principles won't let me do it, but I get it. But some people don't have that problem, like they'll screw over whoever they have to screw over just so that they can keep getting the views. I know reactors who, no matter what the project, they will never, ever say a bad thing about the MCU.
Oh, yeah.
Because they have gotten so many things out of the MCU, so many gift bags, so many, premieres to go to, all these things. And therefore, it's funny because they sit there and they try to sound professional about, what they loved or liked about it. And it's like, dude, this movie's fucking horrible. Yeah. You sold your ass, basically. And
they're prostitutes.
Yeah.
100% prostitutes. And that's not normal. It's not normal. That's not how the human mind works. You don't like everything someone does all of the time for years and years on end. It's not possible. It's just not. And I mean, I've been doing YouTube now and reviewing things for 6 years. And I have always been myself 100%. I have tried to, what's the word? Because this space is very divided.
Oh
It's
yeah,
very divided.
yeah.
And
There are definitely two sides, like two YouTubes for sure.
yes. And I didn't want to pick a side. I wanted to be me. I didn't want to say anything that would, get me pegged this side or that side. And let me tell you something. What that ended up doing was me withholding my opinion, really. And I got sick of it because it wasn't me being myself. And again, it was me not really giving my opinion. So I just said, screw it. And I just started being 1,000% myself and saying exactly how I felt. And much later on, I started getting these accusations like, well, you've just, you've changed. You're a sellout. No. I will always tell you if I don't like something. I will always tell you.
Well, it's funny because
I like something.
They call it the hate mob, right? And I've been accused of that. So a few people have called me a Trumper, a right winger, and I'm looking at them like,
yeah. If you
oh
don't fall in line,
guys, I hate both sides. Like,
yes,
I am a Ronin. Okay, I think both sides are full of shit. But here's the thing. Anything right of crazy is considered right wing.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
And if I had to define myself, then I'm gonna keep saying I am what was a 90s liberal.
Yeah.
I am a 90s liberal, which meant something very different than what it means today.
Yes.
Because I fought for shit like no censorship. I fought for things like legalize weed, right? I fought for those kind of things. I didn't fight for this crazy shit we have now.
No. I've been a libertarian for many, many years, but recently even that's just been like, what the fuck are we doing here, man? Like, what is this? All of it is, it's like when you're younger, you kind of see yourself relating to Owlman in Watchmen, and then when you get older, you realize, oh my god, the comedian was right. Like, it's all a joke.
I completely.
It's all a joke.
I completely relate to the comedian, man. I call it. If I had to pick a comic character to represent myself, it would be the comedian. Yeah. Outside of the rape stuff, I mean, outside of that, but his mentality on the world. I get
it's all a joke. It's all a big joke. Like, yeah, exactly. This is why we're friends. But like. That's what I'm saying is this whole thing with the page chills, the paid influencers and stuff, they have trained the audience so well that when I say I don't like something or not a particular movie, but like I was very excited about James Gunn taking over the DCU. I was very excited about that. And now, not so much. So when you change your mind or change position on something, when you've been presented with new information or something else happens and you're disappointed by it or it didn't turn out the way you had hoped, suddenly they can't accept that. You are not who you said you were. And you're a sellout, and you absolutely should watch them. Those are all wonderful people. Oh, yes. Eric Voss. Gosh. New Rockstars is owned by a subsidiary of Disney, and that is provable.
And what pisses me off about that is, like, I've met Eric Voss a few times, out in Burbank. And he's actually a really nice guy. Like me and him had a great conversation about, because look, he is a shield, but he's also one of those shields that know his stuff when it comes to comics and You know, he's
Mhm.
not fake when it comes to that stuff. He does know his stuff.
Yeah.
So me and him had a great conversation. We were at the Yard House, had some beers and talking about geek stuff. And outside of what we do, he's a really cool guy, really nice guy. But unfortunately, when it comes to his show, he's going to always defend Marvel, man. He's always going
Absolutely.
to defend, DC. He's going to defend, Warner Brothers. He's going to defend like the people who give him access.
Absolutely.
And it's one of those things where it's like, okay, man, look, we can still be cool. I get it. This is your hustle. You do know yourself, but I get why you're doing what you do, especially. And it always gets weird with the YouTuber when they have people they hire. Like when they have people under them that they have to pay out, they tend to sell out a little bit quicker because they kind of have to.
Well, your head,
what's that?
Your head starts to grow a little bit. It's different when have you I don't know this part about you, but have you ever owned a business?
No, I've been a private contractor, but I've never owned a business.
Okay, owning a business and then having employees, I always struggled with that part of it. I struggled with getting my employees to see me as an authority figure because one, I'm like 3 feet tall. So trying to get people to take me seriously when I'm having to do this is a whole different thing. But I never got that part of me that was like, okay, I'm the boss. I'm in charge here. Let's go. But a lot of times when, you have underlings and you are responsible for them having the ability to pay their bills and feed their families, that's power. That is power. And that power can affect your mindset. And it more often than not does, unfortunately.
Power, though, right? Like it's responsibility because that means
exactly
like you have to make sure these people get paid.
Exactly.
And so maybe you would do things you wouldn't normally do, right? For the extra buck. And I think that's what's happening with a lot of these people, right? Like the Shields, because some of them have people they have to pay. And so they'll just sacrifice their integrity to make the extra money. Like I said, I understand the temptation. I just could never cross over into that.
Yeah. And that's something to my detriment sometimes. I've never been able to do ever. I've never been able to just straight eat shit and smile, basically, no matter how much they've paid me or someone has offered me money, like, hey, do this, we'll pay you money. If it's something I truly do not believe, I cannot do it. I can't.
Yeah,
I've never been able to even fake the expression on my face. I would be a terrible actor. It's just not something I could do. So the whole shill influencer thing, it baffles me, and I have little to zero respect for them. I really do.
Well, mainly because they make us all look pretty bad for the most part.
Yes. And well, it's not just that, it's that they look down on us.
Yeah, that's the weird thing, right? That like the
Yeah.
people telling our ass are the ones looking down on us for telling
Yeah.
the truth, by the way.
Yes.
Right? Like for being honest. Like that's the weird thing. Is we're the honest ones, guys.
Mhm. We're the honest ones.
Like if a movie's good,
Yeah.
if a movie or show is good, I will tell you it is good and I will sing its praises, just like I did with Michael literally minutes ago, right?
Mhm.
If it's bad though, I'm going to tell you it's fucking bad, and I'm not
Yeah.
going to spare it.
Yeah. It's not just look down on us, but they make our jobs that much more difficult. I mean, trying to get the algorithm to notice us,
Yeah.
trying to get guests on the show, like notable guests on the show.
Yeah.
Just trying to do anything in this space when you are not a paid shill for the studio
It
is
is hard.
almost impossible. We're not getting tickets to go review a showing. We're not getting that. We're not getting screeners.
Like woke supports woke though, because
Yeah.
I've noticed a lot of like quote unquote woke like creators who, you know, and I'm talking like professional creators who do
Mhm.
these shield shows because they share the same politics, basically. And that's another thing too, right? It's
And
guys, look, here's the thing.
go
Hollywood,
ahead.
no, Hollywood, I know a lot of people had their hopes up when Trump won office, right? Like, oh man, now everything's going to get back to normal and Hollywood's going to get back to normal, all this other shit. No, this was never going to happen. These people believe in their hearts that they are the good team, right?
Yeah.
Like they believe this. So because of that, we will never ever get rid of them. They're going to stay. You know, the only reason why Kathleen Kennedy left is because, you know, she was tired of taking the heat, right? She passed that heat on to Dave Filoni. Like, let's be honest.
That's a good way to put it.
Other
Yeah.
than that, you know, these people are going to remain, unfortunately, in power in Hollywood. So maybe the smart ones will wake up and be like, hey, you know what? Maybe we should try to entertain everybody instead of just a small little group of people on the left. Maybe they'll wake up. I don't know. But for the most part, it woke isn't going anywhere. It's staying right where it is in Hollywood.
Yeah, and you would think that they would want us. I mean, between you and I both, do we not check their boxes? I mean,
Oh
man
no,
of color.
no. Being black and Latino and all that means nothing if you're not on their side.
Right.
If you're not on their side, I might as well be a white man.
Right.
Right? I mean, no, really. I mean, that's how they treat black people who aren't with them, who didn't vote for Kamala, right? I might as well be a white dude. That's how they think, though. Am I lying?
Oh man, no, you are not. And it's what has always disgusted me, and trying to explain this to, and you're absolutely correct, and trying to explain this to someone who's on that team, how absolutely racist, ableist, sexist, and bigotous that whole operation is. It is like trying to explain it to a brick wall that's going to start spitting bricks at you.
Oh, there's no kind of racism like racism on the left. Like it is a special kind of racism. And I've talked about that before. I'm not going to get into it, but it is a very different kind of racism, man. It is a cowardly, it is condescending, it's pandering.
Yes.
It's the worst kind of racism.
There is this series on Netflix called Lock and Key, and they have they have this double amputee in this series, and 24/7 365 this young man is in a pair of shorts 365, and I'm sitting here watching it with just like shuddering with rage, and
Wow.
Dave is like, do you want like a foot massage? Do you want, like, he knows I'm about to explode. I'm like, this shit is dangerous to constantly he's completely one-dimensional.
Of course.
We know
he's the handicap guy, right?
He's the token cripple.
Yeah.
He's the token cripple. And it's these kind of portrayals that, because I'm just here to tell y'all that you know, us cripples were like the last form. Like it's okay to totally pull this shit on us. Like nobody cares, but we're the last of them. So this kind of crap, this kind of portrayal is the reason why random strangers will come up to me and ask me the most personal, intrusive questions that even people that I have known for 20 years wouldn't dream of asking me, because it gives people this sense of you're just nothing. You're just this one-dimensional object. You are this that part of you is all there is to you. It is the cornerstone, the foundation to your
Yeah, they go out of
personality.
their way, right? So
There's
like
yes.
they go out of their way to make sure, like, you know, if you're trans or something, though, like they have to get it accurate, right? They have to get it just right, right?
Yep.
They can't be like stereotypes. It's just
Multifaceted,
anybody else.
multidimensional.
Yeah.
And here we have to show that, you know, amputees only wear shorts, so you can always see their robot legs, and they always walk like this.
Yeah, that is really cringe.
And it was so horrible. And I mean, I probably wrote a book like Fingers of Fury, just I can't say bullshit. I just so mad about it. That's the kind of stuff that they literally only put this kid in this show
For that reason, to be the cripple. Yeah.
Yeah, to pat themselves on the back and say, see, look how nice we are. Look how nice we are. We gave this double amputee a job, and we're not letting you forget. We're not letting you forget that he's an amputee. No, no, no. There's nothing else you need to know about him.
Well,
He just has robot legs.
Speaking of cringe, that leads us right into the next topic, which is
Fantastic.
Look, man, I feel stupid. Okay. I feel stupid because May of last year, maybe April of last year, I was singing the praises of James Gunn, right? No, because look, this is before I saw Superman. And, you know, and yeah, the
I'm with you.
The Monster Commando thing was already out, but I didn't watch that. I didn't really care about that. But I was still like, you know what? I trust James Gunn. You know, he's the perfect guy to run the DCU. I mean, I laugh now because I'm like, damn, what was I thinking? But
right?
I guess I could blame the weed. But anyway, I was singing James Gunn's praises. And then Superman came out, which, by the way, I thought was fine. It was just fine. That's it.
It was just
like,
okay.
It didn't move me one way or another. I just thought it was fine, I guess. Right? Then Peacemaker came along.
Oh,
that's when I was like, okay, I think I'm done here.
I need something heavy to hit myself with to think about Peacemaker season 2.
When I heard the lineup for the rest of the DCU, I was like, okay, we've made a big mistake. Okay. Before we get into James Gunn, though, we are going to watch the trailer for Clayface because, you know, believe it or not, I kind of think this might be a good movie.
Me too.
I do, but I think it's very, very out of place.
Yeah.
You guys will see what I mean. If you haven't seen the trailer already. Now, it actually does look pretty good.
Yes.
So I am definitely not shitting on this, but and especially because I love body horror. I really like body horror. The Fly with Jeff Goldblum is one of my favorite horror films of all time. You know, Slither, James Gunn, ironically, you know, another great body horror movie. So I like body horror, and this has that feel to it, man. But is this supposed to take place in James Gunn's universe or Matt Reeves? Because from the look of it, it looks like a Matt Reeves movie, right?
Nobody knows.
That's the problem I'm having with this whole James Gunn universe, right? Tonally, it's all over the place. Now, I'm not saying every movie has to be like the MCU where everything is just a cookie cutter of the movie that came before it. That's not what I'm saying. But I think James Gunn has done a terrible job, man, of building a cohesive DCU. You know what I mean?
Just little. Yeah. Yeah, I do. I had very high hopes for him. I was incredibly proud as a St. Louisan that he had risen to such heights. We're from the same area. He is from the wealthiest part of St. Louis. I mean, where
that makes sense.
Where all the professional athletes are from. He and his 6 or 7 siblings all went to Catholic private school in that same area. Very expensive school. So when he started saying crazy shit like, I wanted the Kent's farm to look like the farms I grew up around. I was like, the what?
That's kind of funny.
Wait a minute. The what? And it was a double wide trailer. I was like, shut your damn mouth. Are you kidding me?
Well, it's like the Matt Damon and Ben Affleck thing, right? Like they want people to think they're like, they're from the rough hood of Boston, when these guys were like born or raised in like the richest part of Massachusetts. So like they want people to think they're like they're these these down to earth like Bostonians, and that's not what they are.
He just keeps lying like that. So that was like the first big one, the first big red flag for me. I was like, that's a double wide trailer. I am a farmer. I have a very, very micro farm. We live in a ranch style home, not a mobile home or a, modular home, nothing like that. I drove around the farmland area, which is where I live, not one mobile or modular home, James Gunn. Then he said something about he wanted the Kents to sound similar to how we sound for some reason. And he said that because people were like, well, why didn't Clark sound like his parent? Why did his parents sound so Appalachian?
That's a great question.
And he said it is. And he said, well, it's like when I left home and went to college, I was getting made fun of for how I sounded. Sorry. I changed how I talked, and I was like,
which some people do. That's fair. Like that happens.
No. Do you hear how I sound?
Well, yeah.
I'm from St. Louis.
But you don't sound like a hillbilly.
I sound like James Gunn does.
Yeah.
So tell me how he changed his voice. He sounds exactly like I do.
Question. I mean, and honestly, it is ridiculous. And to be even more honest, I hated that depiction of the Kents. That is the worst depiction of Ma and Pa Kent that I've ever seen.
Not just that, but what he did to his Kryptonian parents. I kept waiting for it to be wrong. I kept waiting for
Lex messed with the tapes or something or the video. Yeah.
And when you try to explain to people, that the whole purpose of Superman's creation was that he was created by, Schuster and Siegel, who were the children of Jewish immigrants. And they were going through a very difficult time when immigrant was a very scary word to American citizens. World War II was going on. It was very scary. And they wanted to show people that immigrants were hardworking and they were after the American dream. They wanted a happy, peaceful, successful life. And so they created a superhero who was an immigrant. That wasn't scary, that he came from good parents that weren't scary. And what did James Gunn do? He turned his parents into the very thing that people are afraid.
Well, he made them Viltrumites, right?
Yes, he did.
That's what it was. He made them Viltrumites. And again,
I kept having that conversation with myself in my head, like, let's just wait and see. I'm like, all right, Danielle, you've seen. Yeah. You have seen. Then Peacemaker season 2 came out. And
the thing with Will Gunn is, like, do I still believe that he's a talented director? Yes, but I think his wheelhouse are obscure characters that very few people know about. Like the same thing he did with Guardians. Literally, outside of me and like a few other people who collected Guardians since the 80s, very few people know about the Guardians of the Galaxy. And he took a team.
Right.
he took a team and made him a household name, right? Like this unknown team and made him a household name. And you got to give the guy that. And he's very good with obscure characters. Like I liked his version of the Suicide Squad. You know, I actually love the first season of Peacemaker.
Yes,
the first season was great.
I've seen it so many times.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite things of anything. I really, really loved it. I had such high hopes when he announced what he wanted to do with the DCU. Booster Gold, Paradise Lost. Those are amazing ideas. But and a lot of people don't remember this, but I can do. He gave an interview and he said he didn't want to write season 2 of Peacemaker. He was tired. He just got done with Superman. He was on vacation with his wife. And he
probably did it for her.
Yeah. So he had no choice. He had to do it. It was in a Rolling Stone article, actually. And then season 2 came out, and we're like, well, we can tell, pal. We can tell. And I have really felt like for some time that he's been kind of preparing us that he's not going to be co-head of the DCU, because he said, you know, I don't know how sustainable this pace is. And I do know people.
But why take the job then, right?
Because I think he thought it would be a lot of money and great prestige, and it would be a great idea. But I don't think he realized, and this has kind of been confirmed from a few people that have privately confirmed it to me, that, wow, this is a lot of work. How am I supposed to run a studio and oversee all these projects?
Okay, I'll tell you why I don't buy.
Be a filmmaker?
I'll tell you why I don't buy that, because he came from the MCU. He knew what the job was, right? Gunn was the guy who plotted out the Infinity Saga for the MCU. So he knows damn well what it takes to manage something that big, right? Maybe he didn't have the experience or I don't know, but he knew that it was a lot of work. So for him to say, "Oh, I got into this and I just didn't know, that it was going to be so," I don't buy that. I don't buy that.
Maybe not so much. Like, I think it was more of a, in theory, than application type situation.
I can see that. But here's the thing, though. Like, the work would have been fine. The work wouldn't even been that hard if he made like smart choices, right? Like, I don't understand. Okay, y'all watching this right now, you have to understand how fucking insane this is. You're starting the DCU brand new, right? Brand new, right? You're taking over for Zack Snyder. You're killing that universe. You're starting new. Why would your first 3 movies be Superman, Supergirl, Clayface, right? Clayface. And then you have a Batman that's not even your Batman. It's Matt Reeves' Batman.
Yeah.
Right? And then you have Lanterns, which looks like a bunch of bullshit.
Oh my God.
And by the way, what's funny about Lanterns is they removed the trailer from the fucking site because it was getting clowned so bad, right?
But they keep saying
why would your first 3
issues.
movies not be Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, right?
That's a really excellent question.
Get the foundation started, right?
They are called the Holy Trinity of DC Comics for a very specific reason.
Well, and especially when you're rebooting an entire franchise.
And the entire fan base has been demanding that the entire time. The entire time. And all he does nowadays is just sit on the shitter and gaslight people on threads. Like, that's all he does.
I don't know what his end game is for, forgive the pun, but I don't know what his end game is with all this. Like, is he purposely trying to give himself a way out? Like,
I've heard he's not going to be around.
What's going to happen with the merge, right? Like, is he just throwing shit out because the merge is coming? He's probably going to get fired. I don't really know what's happening with that. I just know that at this point, there is no DCU.
Yeah.
Let me say that again. There is no DCU. There are a bunch of there's DC
here.
projects.
Yeah.
But there's no DCU.
There's
no cinematic universe here.
No. It's desperation to say otherwise at this point. You have one movie. Right now, you have one movie. You had one series that was a freaking mess. It had some great scenes with Tim Meadows. Tim Meadows is always
I guess two series if you count the animated thing.
I forgot about it. I'm constantly like, I enjoyed it while it was on, but let's face it, in the end, it was forgettable because look, I just forgot about it. And we just talked about it 2 seconds ago. It's forgettable at best. So you've had an animated series, a live action series that was basically Peacemaker crying and some great funny scenes with Tim Meadows, but it was disconnected. The series itself, it was just like a cluster, it was
the
not
fact that they continued on Zack Snyder's idea instead of doing something very new. And what's crazy is they could have fixed that all in like one scene, right? The beginning scene, right? It's set in Zack Snyder's universe, and then he goes to one of those doors, right? The parallel doors, and he's now in James Gunn's universe because his universe has been blown up, right?
Exactly.
His universe got destroyed, so now Peacemaker is in the Gunn universe.
You said that. I've said that. Like at least 6 other people I know have said that. And then he kept saying that there was going to be, you're not going to believe all the cameos.
And the tie-ins, yeah.
And then there was Lex Luthor, and that was it, making some horrible comments about anal sex and
that was
in
weird,
the Clank.
Man.
I mean, in a DC series.
Well, not just DC, but Lex Luthor making an anal joke. Like, what are we doing here, man?
Yeah, this is just not appropriate because, I mean, not to mention, like the second episode, there was a full nude.
No, that was the
giant
first
orgy.
episode.
That was the first episode.
That was the first episode.
My gosh. Like, and I was just saying, like, man, I can't watch The Boys anymore because it's just constant giant dongs. Like, just giant dong jokes. Like, it was funny the first couple of times, like maybe 2 times it happened, and now it's just like constant, like, okay.
But that's the craziest thing, right? Is like there was an orgy in the first fucking episode, full frontal nudity, by the way. And right before the premiere, he's talking about how Superman's going to connect to Peacemaker. Right? So kids, all you kids who watch Superman, be sure to watch Peacemaker, right?
Yep. And Superman again, why? I remember when he was doing the cast list for it, and he's listing all these names and who they're playing. And I remember asking, like, is Superman going to get enough screen time in Superman's movie? There's so many people. Like, why did I enjoy Mr. Terrific and Guy Gardner more in Superman's movie than Superman?
I would have rather just had a Justice Gang movie, to be honest with you.
Truly, like, what are you doing here? There is such a thing as saying, you know what? I don't think I'm the right person for this job. And as much as I really, really hate to say this, because one, I'm so sick and tired of my state and my hometown just being seen as like a place where cows poop, and nobody comes here because St. Louis is actually flippin' amazing, and it's not like cows, it's actually a giant city. So there's that. But I was really proud of that. But as much as it pains me to say it, I was absolutely wrong. And James Gunn was not the right person for this job. And what we have now is one movie that just did okay, with only 3 weeks in theaters and split the fandom even more. And I think what's happened is that if you're not, a bot or paid shill, and you don't think it was like, okay, I think they're so desperate to keep getting content that they're just like, please don't say you hate it. Like, just go with it, man. Like, can we just want it enough that it'll be good? Like, if we just want really hard, it'll be good. I'm like, please stop doing this to yourself.
Okay, but here's
buddy.
the thing. Okay, so why would you go from that, right? From a very mediocre Superman to then Supergirl? By the way, no one's talking about this movie. Nobody's talking about Supergirl.
Man, that's another thing he has gaslit fans about from day one. He said right away, and I feel like I've just kind of hijacked your show. I'm just like talking nonstop.
No,
I'm so sorry.
By all means, that's why I had guests.
Well, I'm not a Tom King fan, but I did inexplicably enjoy Woman of Tomorrow. Woman of Tomorrow is an interesting book. Tom King was not the only person who worked on it, and that's probably why it's better than the rest of his work. But in this book, Supergirl is out celebrating her 21st birthday in a red sun solar system, and a young girl asks her if she can hire her as a bounty hunter to get rid of this guy, Creme of the Yellow Hills, who offed her entire family. And Supergirl says, we don't do that. We aren't killers. And then that guy shows up, like seriously injures Crypto and her. And then she's like, all right, let's go find this guy. She's not going to kill him, but she's like, let's go find this guy. And the ship was like set to take off on its own. So the ship takes off and they have to take like kind of a space bus to get back to a yellow sun so Supergirl can get her powers and heal and whatever. So it's actually pretty interesting. Obviously,
we're not going to get any of that in this movie.
No. What I'm driving at is right away, James Gunn's like, we are adapting this book. This is going to be like the closest adaptation that you've ever seen of a comic book movie, blah, blah, blah. Well, then he starts making comments again, like, oh, what'd he say? Someone asked about how she felt about Krypton, being destroyed. And he's like, how would she know? She was a baby. And started alluding to the fact that Supergirl's actually younger than Superman.
No.
And people are like, what are you saying? Are you kidding me? Then we see the trailer. It's Guardians of the Galaxy, right down to the headphones and the snarky comments. They've changed her age, why she's there. Now she doesn't want to be a superhero. In the book, she admires her cousin so much. She wants to be like him. She's not hiding. She's not running away. She's just there in a red sun solar system so she can get drunk for her 21st birthday. That was it. It was literally it. So they've changed everything about it, including adding
the funny
Lobo.
about it looking like Guardians, though, is people keep saying James Gunn didn't direct it. I'm like, yeah, but guys,
he's the producer.
He's the fucking producer, okay? Like, it's going to have his influence in the movie no matter what. Like the director probably just, he just took all the notes and did all the James Gunn things,
Either that or he's just kissing up to the boss.
I have very little doubt. Like, this movie, like, okay, Superman did like what, 600 million, maybe 7,
less than that.
Less, God, that's crazy.
Less like 500 something million.
So there's no way Supergirl is going to beat it, right? Which means that again, they're about to lose money again.
Yes,
because Supergirl's not going to do better than Superman.
No. No.
And I don't care how many people go to watch Lobo, because I mean, guys, and I guarantee you, he's only in it for like 5 minutes. It's not going to do better than Superman.
They should have just done a Lobo movie.
Everybody's saying that right now.
Yeah, that's gonna be the best part of that film is Lobo. That is perfect casting. That's something that Jason Momoa has wanted his whole life. Like, super happy for him.
Oh, it is like literally the best casting I've seen in like probably a while, right? Like I think he's going to kill it. The problem is like people are going to go watch that movie for him,
mm-hmm.
and he's only in it for like 10 minutes. So I mean,
and they're already on Damage Control. They've already got Millie Alcock with her talking points. Well, I'm just preparing myself.
Oh, for the toxic fandom.
Yeah, I'm just preparing myself. Like, are you? Listen, I'm a woman. I don't know if you noticed, but I'm a woman. I'm a huge comic nerd. I've got comic book tattoos all up and down my arms. My whole office is covered in it. The Wonder Woman movie was in 2017, not that other thing that never, ever happened and I've deleted from my memory. But the 2017 Wonder Woman movie was one of the greatest experiences of my nerdy life. It was absolutely phenomenal.
Oh, it was great. The first Wonder Woman with Gal Gadot.
Absolutely. Yeah. Made so much money. It did so well. So shut up. Like, no, that's not even true. Nerds love female comic characters. Are you high, Billy?
If you're going to do Supergirl, why not make that like the 6th or 7th movie, right? You don't make that the next movie in your brand new like universe, right? Like, you don't make Superman then immediately make Supergirl right after that.
It's a little overkill, it's.
Again, I don't understand Gunn's planning. I don't get.
It doesn't feel like planning at all, because we're doing Superman, Supergirl, Superman again,
and then Matt Reeves Batman.
Matt Reeves Batman.
Clayface.
And Matt Reeves is one of the producers on Clayface.
So that's why it looks like a Matt Reeves movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and I do agree. Clayface looks great. It looks super interesting. I think it's a very interesting thing to do to do a film on Clayface, because how many times have we done Joker, Penguin, Riddler? We've done them over and over again.
Clayface as a character, and I think
absolutely.
And honestly, I think this movie is going to be good. It looks like it's going to be a good film. So like, I'm not even shitting on the movie.
No, not at all.
I'm just saying that tonally, it doesn't fit with the current DCU.
Like, the MCU, you can tell an MCU movie.
Oh yeah,
right away.
And not that everything has to be as cookie cutter as the MCU,
right?
But it has to be kind of cohesive a little bit,
We have to understand what you're doing at some point. You can't make us wait a full decade and have to do a jigsaw puzzle and a Sudoku or whatever to figure out what your intentions are. And here we are, we're 3 or 4 years into his reign over the DCU. We've had a couple of projects now, and it's still very up in the air what is connected or not. And he said very clearly that, we're not going to have all this different shit going on because that's confusing for the audience. We're not going to have.
Oh, that's confusing.
Yeah. But if you bring that up now, then, oh no, he never said that. You just misunderstood. Every single time you bring up something he said that he's now, backpedaled on, oh no, you've just misunderstood him. You just misunderstood him. So anytime he says anything, I said, well, just wait 6 months. Just wait. He's going to change. And then, blame us.
It almost makes me wish, like, I wonder how different like an Edgar Wright DCU would look, or just somebody like that. Like I feel stupid because I defended Gunn so much, man. And
Yeah, me too.
I had to take it back. I'm like, you know what? He wasn't the guy.
Yeah.
He just wasn't the guy.
But that's what makes us who we are and not shills. That's what separates us.
If I make a mistake, I'll gladly say I was wrong.
And that's why our audiences know that they can trust us.
But speaking of shit shows, we're going to stay on track because and this is a weird shit show for me, this next thing, because I do understand a little bit, but Daredevil is shitting the bed in the ratings, man. Like, no one's watching the show.
I'm so bored.
And I do get that, but I thought there would be like even people who are like who like, I don't want to say compared to the first or the Netflix run, but even people who are just like optimistic about this show seem to just kind of tuned out.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, if you read the headline there, I mean, or the post there, I mean, like it's not even ranking, and I'm wondering like what the disconnect is, because look, it's not the worst show I've seen.
No,
it's not. It's actually, look, I'll go as far as to say there were some episodes I thought were really good, right? So I'm not even shitting on the quality of the show. I have problems with it, and I'm gonna get into that in a minute, but it's not the worst thing out there, and for it to not rank at all is, for me at least, like I think like that's troubling.
Yeah.
For the MCU. Because there was a lot of hype for this show coming back.
Oh, yes. Yes, there was an intense amount of hype. The Netflix show was on a level all its own.
I mean, everyone loved the Netflix show. I mean, it was, and we got some of the best characters out of it, right? I mean, we got D'Onofrio's Fisk, we got, Daredevil, we got Bullseye in that third season, who was phenomenal, right? We got the Punisher, we got Frank Castle in the second season, and Elektra. It was like Shangri-La, man, for comic book fans. It was just like a golden season, and then we get this new show, and everybody's tapped out.
Yeah. I think a lot of it has to do with many people didn't even give it a watch because the MCU has broken so much trust over the last few years with its audience. They've really pushed a lot of people out. And then a lot of it has to do with the first season was just boring as fuck. It was
boring, and it was all over the place, right? I mean, it was the amalgamation of two different shows, if I'm being honest with you. And it was confusing. It was a mess.
It felt like prologue. The whole thing just felt like setup. And I remember watching an episode and thinking, oh wow, I'm enjoying this. And then I realized, oh shit, there's only like one episode left. I'm still waiting for the season to really kick in, really start. Like, what is going on here? It was just all set up. And it's like, okay, so then season 2 has got to be better, right? Not really. I mean, there's been more action. There's been some great action scenes. But again, it still feels...
overall, it hasn't been great.
Right.
And I think something that has really hurt the show, period, was the addition of these new characters, right? Like, now I'm going to, this is where I separate myself from a lot of people. I actually do like James Gandolfini's son in this show. I think he's intriguing, man. Like, I think there is something to him. I like Buck, the hitman, the Kingpin's right hand. There are some new characters that I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool, man. But I'm fucking tired of BB. I'm tired of basically all of Matt's crew. I'm tired of.
This is so boring. I'm tired of Kingpin crying.
Oh God, yeah. Like,
I
and look, I
can't handle
get it. The
that.
whole Vanessa thing,
Yeah.
fine, but I just don't want to. I don't want to watch the Kingpin cry.
No, I want to see
I
him
don't.
hit things. Like when he finally started hitting Daredevil and hitting the wall, I'm like, finally. And then it was done. Like it was 2 seconds of it and he was done with it. I'm like, oh, come on. What is even the point of the Daredevil show with the Kingpin as the antagonist if we're not going to have just a bunch of violence and action? What is the point? We've
But
got
also,
Go ahead.
but
I'm
also
sorry.
in a weird way, even this season feels like setup for
Yes.
something else, right? Like, it's weird, man. I again, I don't hate the show the way some people do. It's fine. It's just it doesn't feel like Daredevil to me.
Yeah.
Like, I love the Bullseye stuff,
Oh my gosh, yes. Just make a Bullseye show.
like Bullseye is the best part of the show. for me.
Yes, I completely agree.
But I'm
Wilson
tired of
Bethel
Karen.
is-
I'm tired of, I don't know.
Oh, the Karen thing is just listen, if you're gonna do Daredevil Born Again, then do actual Daredevil Born Again and have that chick just OD. Like because this has not been good for her character.
I don't think
at
a lot
all.
of non-comic fans are ready for that, man. Because
No, they won't be able to handle it. They'll be incensed.
because she takes a dark path
Yes, she does.
in the comics. But yeah, I don't know. It's surprising to me that this isn't shorting.
Well, it's not for me because I've just been kind of watching this downfall, this breaking of trust with their audience. Once you've done that, it's almost impossible to get it back. It's almost like what happened with the Batman movies in the 90s. They kept putting them out thinking, okay, here we go. They're going to come back for this one.
Well, they kept making them goofier and goofier, right?
Yes.
It's like Batman Forever, Batman and Robin. Like, that's what really killed not just the franchise, it killed comic book movies for a while,
It did.
Right? Like, we didn't get another comic movie till Blade.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah, those Batman movies did some damage.
Mm-hmm.
But with the Daredevil thing, it kind of it makes me now it makes me wonder as far as is the rest of the MCU. We have Brand New Day coming up, which, look, it's going to do well. Spider-Man movies will always do fine.
Yeah.
But what about Doomsday, right?
Robert Meyer Burnett keeps saying it's going to be amazing. And I just love him to death. I do. But
Rob is great, man.
Yeah, I love him. I still
But
have
Rob is a romantic,
He is. And that's why I love him so much.
I love Rob because, the man he's had like a 40-year, love affair with film, and I love listening to him talk. And Rob is an optimist, man. And I want to trust, but I've been hurt. I've been hurt too many times. So.
Exactly. We want to love again. We want to love again so bad, but we just aren't ready. We're just so hurt, and we just
but with valid reasons.
Yes.
Right? Like we can't trust the MCU. We just can't.
We haven't gotten a sincere apology from them yet.
No, and we probably won't. Just like we'll never get one from Lucasfilm.
No, because that would mean Disney has to admit they messed up. They have to admit
they'll have to admit
mistakes.
that the judges were right, and they can't do that.
Absolutely.
And especially, with like guys like Mark Ruffalo, and they're never going to admit they're wrong. So I mean, honestly, I'm looking forward to Spider-Man. But him being in it is the one thing that's kind of a deterrent for me. Like,
likewise.
Outside of Mark Ruffalo, I'm like, I am ready for Spider-Man, but the fact that he is in it, I'm like, God damn it.
I'm right there with you.
Like, I can't listen to his voice anymore.
It's a trigger. It's like, no! I start throwing things.
But no, Spider-Man's going to do fine. But Doomsday, I honestly don't know. Like, it's easy to say, of course, it's going to do well, right? Because of all the cameos and all the people were in it, and they're bringing the X-Men in. Yeah, you know what? It'll do fine as far as box office. The problem is, this is the most expensive movie ever made. It's already at, I think, $600 or $700 million from what I've
And
read.
is it or is it not a coincidence? So this is kind of up in the air for me because there's two things happening at the same time. And I know Geeks and Gamers did a really amazing article about this. But at the same time that you have Doomsday going out with their insanely long cast list of box office A-listers, you've got the new AI thing going on. Disney is laying off thousands. So to me, two things can be true at the same time. I think the AI thing, coupled with their exorbitant expense of Doomsday, has turned into, okay, so we're letting a lot of people go.
Oh, I'm not even surprised by this. Like, Doomsday, like I said, $600 or $700 million, which means they're going to have to make well over $1 billion, like just to get their money back, not even to make a profit, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't see this happening, man. Like, I think they're in big trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I'm not going to make any crazy statements like this is the end of the MCU. No. I do think, though, it is going to be the end of. It might be the end of us getting movies for a while.
I think they have really figured out that they can't bullshit us anymore. They can't fake it anymore.
Well, they can't fake it, and they can't like keep dropping these crazy big budgets on movies that nobody's going to watch, right? Like I said, people they'll watch Doomsday, like some of them, but it's not going to be enough to cover what they spent to make the film. So
no. And I've never been a big believer in big budget movies anyway, because just throwing money at a problem doesn't necessarily solve the problem. I feel like smaller budgets kind of encourage you to be a little bit more creative.
Oh, that's the old way of filmmaking, right? Like that's the old way of thinking. Now it's just throw money at it and hope it sticks, right? And what's weird to me though is, you know, as the words are coming out of my mouth, me saying this, these characters, this franchise should be like printing money.
Yeah,
it should be like printing money. This shouldn't even be
so easy.
This shouldn't even be guesswork, right? If they didn't fuck up the way they have for the past 10 years, they would be sitting so pretty right now that they wouldn't even be worried about it because they know people will go watch their movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they fuck themselves.
The whole point, the whole purpose behind buying an IP like Marvel or DC or Star Wars is that it comes with a ready-made, built-in fan base. You don't have to
fan base, a rabid fan base.
Exactly. You don't have to build one up. You don't have to, come on, kids, I've got free candy. Yeah. They've already got the fan base. And what have they done? They ran it off.
Over the past 10 years, jack shit.
Yeah.
They didn't have a plan for after Endgame, which if they were smart, they would have took a little break, you know, maybe like a 3-year break, just something, right? Come back strong with a brand new lineup, have the focus be on the X-Men and the Fantastic Four because they had already bought those properties already. There's a way they could have done this so right. And instead, they took the crazy virtue signaling route and decided to go all in on the woke shit. Like they went all in, man. And
they did the crazy thing and ignored the built-in fan base they already had and decided, let's cater to people who have never read the comics at all and don't care.
Yeah, that's some wild shit, man.
Let's ignore the source material, ignore the people we know are just automatically going to buy a ticket just to see it, no matter who's playing who. Let's ignore the people that have never heard of this shit ever.
But also this weird thing of like, let's make it a girl's brand, right? And I hate that I always have to get this disclaimer of no one's saying you can't be a woman and a nerd and who's into geek shit. Like obviously you can be. But here's the thing. This shit is geared towards men. It's geared towards guys. In the same way that the fucking Barbie movie was geared towards women and gays, right? I mean, and which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And again, as a straight man, I love Barbie. I thought it was a good movie. It doesn't mean I can't enjoy it because I'm not part of their demographic. But that's the thing. It's like you have an audience specifically for reasons. And even this the new movie coming out, Devil Wears Prada 2. Oh my God, the women and gays are going to be lined up for blocks, city blocks to watch this movie, right? That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. You have a target audience for a reason. But when you lose sight of that, man, when you try to change Star Wars into a girl's brand, that is insane. When you try to change Marvel into a woman's brand, and by the way, we're talking like really grown. Do they think like really grown ass women as a whole are lining up to see Marvel movies? No. Don't get me wrong. There are some that love it, which is great. That they're not the target audience, though, right? And that's the thing. Disney lost track of the target audience, and they fucked up, and they gave us shit like Ironheart.
I keep
and Miss Marvel and shit like that. And
why did you have to destroy my reality and remind me that show happened? I had forgotten it.
They lost their focus, man. And
let's make sure we're making this clear. They were trying to make it a very feminine brand. Because what's a way to put this? Because I've never been bosses,
and they made the men sissies. I mean, I'll just say it as it is.
I've never been into chick flicks and stuff like that. Never in my life. It just no desire whatsoever. Bo DeMaio has become my writing coach, and he for homework, I had to watch 5 episodes of Bridgerton, and I wanted to murder him. I was really upset about it. Why are you doing this? So that's just who I am, and clearly I am a girly girl.
Bo was a really good writer, man.
Bo is an amazing writer.
Yeah.
So
honestly, X-Men 97 was probably one of my favorite shows of the past 5 years.
It is the best performing Disney Plus series across the board.
You talk about a love letter to the X-Men. That was
yes.
That's how you do it, man.
Yes.
That's how you bring a show like that back.
That's what I'm talking about when someone loves what they're creating, when they love what they're working on.
And then they fired him. They fired the guy who gave them one of the best shows that they've ever had on Disney Plus. Easily the best show on Disney Plus. Really quick, I'm gonna read this super chat, and this is from
Dreaming Tabitha.
Dreaming Tabitha for $4.99. Be sure to check out Dani's upcoming comic book. Yes, guys, I'm gonna have all of her information in the description after this. So support because Dani is a really good writer, and I enjoyed it. It's a good.
Thank you so much.
It's a good horror comic. We haven't had those in a while, so
thank you. Just so you guys know, Bo's read it too. And I got his approval. It got Bo DeMaio's seal of approval. So
very cool.
Yeah, that's what he was like. Yeah, so you are now my mentee. I am now your mentor. He's actually going to send me to writing classes, on his dime.
Wow, look at that, man.
I know.
Holy shit.
That's the coolest thing that's ever happened to me. So
I mean, if I still wrote, man, I probably, I don't know. I was a screenwriter though. My shit was based a little bit more in reality, but You know, who knows? Who knows?
It's fun. I love writing. It's so
Maybe
much
I'll give
fun.
comic book writing a shot, you know?
I highly encourage it. It's my favorite form of writing. I'm gonna end up writing. There's a prequel novel I want to write for my comic series, and it's going to be a whole thing to get back to prose. Like now that I've been in this comic script writing for so long, like going back to prose is going to be a whole deal.
You know what?
Getting back to that.
As somebody who, you know, for me, like Comic-Con is just a regular yearly event. Well, not just Comic-Con. Shit, I go to like 3 cons a year, or I used to. No, there's just something like really exciting about like people who kind of just take things into their own hands and create their own shit. I love like some of my favorite parts of Comic-Con are going down like Artist Alley or where all the indie comics are and talking to some of the, you know, indie writers. And so, yeah, I mean, there's something really cool about it. And honestly, the space really needs it because, you know, unfortunately, again, Marvel and DC, even in the comics, are shitting the bed right now.
Yes.
Like the comics are terrible for Marvel
Here's
and
the
DC
thing.
right now.
They've been dipping in the same well. They're not outsourcing. They're not searching for new blood.
There's just like in a kind of, you know, add on to that, there's no more like superstars of comic writing anymore, right? Because before we had all of these guys who were like, you know, Turner and like, well, he was an artist, but you know, he was a creator. You know, you had Bendis, you had all these different guys who, you know, brought something different. You know, my favorite of all time, Grant Morrison. You had, you know, Brubaker. You had, I mean, I could just keep naming them. But we had these superstars of comic book writing, and now everyone kind of just looks the same.
Yeah.
Nobody stands out.
It is the same. It's all the same over and over again.
Alan Moore, of course. My God, let me not forget Alan Moore. But yeah,
Chris Claremont. Chris
Jesus.
Claremont was just
best X-Men run of all time, man. I mean,
ever. But like I said, they are just dipping in the same well. They're telling the same thing over and over again. They're keeping their circle closed and tight. They don't want to search outside of it. So if we want something new, if we want something intriguing, interesting, different, and creative, different, we're going to have to do it ourselves.
And you know what? Honestly, there's never been a better time for indie creators. Like there just hasn't, man. There's so much more opportunity now for comic book creators, man. Because I remember when I first started writing, I thought I wanted to do comics, but it was just so hard to get into it. It was actually easier to get into film or to have my stuff, you know, read, you know, for film than for comics, man. So
that's one of the reasons why it's taken me so long to do this, why I wrote this first. I mean, the main reason was I was a mother of 4 and had to, you know, make sure they survived to adulthood. But the second reason was back in the day, I mean, I didn't know the first thing about where to go or how to figure out how to write comic books. I thought I had to draw it myself too, or know how to draw or storyboard it. I didn't know how to do those things, and I didn't know where to look. So I wrote a book that definitely reads like it should have been a graphic novel, and I didn't have an editor either. It's a whole story. But now, thanks to YouTube, my YouTube career, and Tabitha, honestly, Dreaming Tabitha, it was her stream. I met the right people and started having conversations, and the ball got rolling. And
yeah, and honestly, it was for me like not being able to draw as a comic book lover for me growing up was brutal, man. Because all I ever wanted to do was like draw comics and create comics, and I felt like I had to know how to draw, you know, in order to do it. But not being able to draw was just like the bane of my existence. And I remember, and I've been collecting comics since '85. You know, and I still remember the very first comic I ever bought was a Thor comic with the cover of him and Hercules. I bought it because of Hercules, because I knew who Hercules was. I mean, I knew who Thor was, kind of, but not really. And this is back when it was old school Thor with the little funny hat and then the wings coming out of it.
Yeah.
So like it was like old school Thor, and he talked with these and thous and all that. So I wasn't really hip to him, but Hercules, I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. So I bought the comic with my allowance that I just got that week, and ever since then, I've been collecting ever since then. I still buy them today at 50. So I mean,
and you don't look 50 at all, but
you're too kind.
It was Hercules that got Wonder Man into acting, because he said,
I remember that.
That's where all the women are.
Oh my God. I still remember the West Coast Avengers, man. Like,
yeah. Dude, that was some dark
Wonder Man, Tigra,
stuff.
Moon Knight. I think Iron Man was a part of it for a while.
Dude, Scarlet Witch, when she attacked them and she like
I was obsessed, man. Like I think I love the West Coast Avengers more than the actual Avengers, man. Like I was a huge fan.
They had crazier stories.
Yeah, they did.
I think they had crazier stories.
Yeah, they did. It's God, man. And that's why I'm so hard, man, on these things, because it's like, dude, I've been doing this shit for a long time. Yeah. And I just expect excellence. I just expect it. If you're gonna take these properties, treat them with respect. Like these are characters that we loved and have loved for a very long time. Treat them with respect, and it's hard for us to see like these newbies who have no history of these characters come along and try to fuck them up or race swap them or gender swap them or change them into something that they're not, basically,
Fans get to be upset.
Yeah.
We get to be upset. And even if you want to spin it from an economic standpoint, you are trying to sell us a product. You are offering to sell us a product. Shouldn't that be a high quality product? Shouldn't you want to be able to make as much money as you possibly can off of that product? At what point do we get to say, excuse me, this is false advertising?
Well, that used to be the goal, right? To make money. So I'm not sure when that went away, but
well, a former Lucasfilm employee friend of mine who has given me clearance to talk about this, just he would prefer I did not mention his name.
Yeah, and I don't want you to mention names
but he said that it is literally all about agenda. And
I mean, my friend at the MCU, man, the stories he's told me about what goes on in those rooms.
Yeah.
Like he told me if he didn't have a family to support, he would have fucking quit a long time ago.
Yeah.
Like he would have just been out. He said there'd be times where when they be in the theater watching the dailies, because obviously Disney has their own little private theater for the executives. He said there'd be times they'd be sitting in there watching something, and the people who love this shit, like us, that are in that room are looking at each other and just like cringing and sinking into their seats because it's so fucking bad. And he's like, dude, if you're a comic book lover, if you're a Marvel lover, it's painful.
Yeah.
To be in those meetings.
What do you think?
Oh, and they're all run by lesbians. all those meetings are run by lesbians. So,
they're waiting for that generational gap. They go after the kids. They go after the children.
That imaginary audience that they think is out there. It's not.
No,
it's not. Kids aren't reading comics.
No,
or at least American comics. They're reading manga.
They're reading manga, and they're hardly reading anything anymore.
Or even that.
Yeah.
What? Why read manga when you can watch anime, right? And that's what they're doing. So anyway, guys, this was fun, man. Dani, I'm so glad that you finally were able to join. I know, it was my fault for canceling the last time, but again, I was sick.
I know you were
completely out of my power, but I'm glad we made this happen. It was fun talking to you because again, I've known you for a while, and it was fun to have you on the show.
Thank you for finally having me. I had a wonderful time, and
You
I hope
definitely
we
have to
get
come
do
back
it again
sometime
sometime.
for
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely. I'm available. Just let me know.
And I'm going to put all your information in the description. I want people to buy your book because, again, guys, it is good. And you know I wouldn't vouch for bullshit. You know that. So it's actually good. If it wasn't, I wouldn't even have her on my show because I would I wouldn't even want her to push it on my show if it wasn't good. So
Hey, like I said, I
it's
don't
good.
like chick flicks and stuff like that. I did not write chick material.
No, and it's definitely not. It's definitely not a chick story at all. But good female characters though.
Thank you.
Very very good female characters, but they're not girl bosses.
No.
But anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in, man. Mondays, I hope I made your Monday just a little bit better. Probably not, but hopefully I did. Maybe just a little bit. Be sure to check me out Wednesday with Nina Infinity because we always talk about random shit on her show, which is always hilarious. And Saturday, I should be back on Yellow Flash, so just keep your eye out. And Dani, where can they find you?
You can find me on YouTube at Comics and Everything at this handle right here. You can find me on all the socials. Just type in Comics And. If you go to comics-and.com, that's my website, and it'll point you in the right direction for everything.
Cool. All right, guys. I will talk to you soon.
Bye.
As soon as I can get this. There we go.